may mga bagay na if you don't have to spend on them, why would you during weekends? Either kung may trabaho na kailangan gawin sa office, I would work. Or kung meron business endeavor, side hustle that I could do during the weekend, I would do that as well. Why? Nakikicarpool ako at that particular time. I would literally park in those areas kahit mas malayo siya, kahit umuulan. Pag puno doon, maghihintay talaga ako na may lalabas doon para hindi yung magbayad ng parking. I would buy 1.5 liters. I would stash it in my bin. And then every day, inumin ko yan for the next 3 or 4 days during lunchtime. Yung cheapest, yung mga Max Saver Value Meal or yung sa Jollibee na burger steak or yung sa KFC na chicken. Pero lahat yun walang drink. Hey guys, so in a recent video, I mentioned that one of my strategies in personal finance is that I love budgeting my money, that every peso has a name, that before I even spend it, it has to be something that has to be written down and to be part of my budget. And I also mentioned that aside from budgeting, part of my strategy is I know how to save, that I allot a certain amount of money or percentage that I would delegate as part of my savings. But that being said, I was in a talk last week. It was a talk show. And then they asked me, was there a significant difference in terms of my budget 15 years ago when I was starting out as compared to my budget now? One of the things that I answered there was, before, everything was very, very strict. To the very letter, ito dapat yung pang sardinas, ito yung pambili ng tuna. This is the amount of money that I could spend for gas on a monthly basis. After that, magtitipid na ako. So when I was starting out, it was tighter in terms of how I budgeted. But now also, I've created a buffer so that I know that hindi ako lalampas. So the main goal of me budgeting is that I maintain whatever price that I place there, whatever allocation I would put, hindi dapat ako lalampas. Now, that being said, that particular talk show made me realize that mas kuripot pala ako dati when I was actually starting out, and I wanted to share some of my kuripot tips that hindi naman siya barat. Please do remember, iba yung kuripot sa barat. But this is more, nagkukuripot ako sa sarili ko. And I realized that I was at a season in my life before that if you want to have more, you want to earn more, you want to get more, it's not just about creating multiple streams of income. It's just not about finding other assets. But may mga bagay na if you don't have to spend on them, why would you? As you all know, during weekends, madami sa atin, especially before this pandemic, we would go to malls, madami nagbabakasyon sa ibang lugar during the weekends. And for me, I knew it, especially in the first 2-3 years of my working career, that I didn't want to spend money. If I would put myself in a position na nasa mall ako or nasa labas ako, sure yun, mas mapapagastos ako. So one of my styles was during weekends, either kung may trabaho na kailangan gawin sa office, I would work. Or kung meron business endeavor, side hustle that I could do during the weekend, I would do that as well. Why? If you're productive, if you are working, then it reduces the temptation to spend. If you are productive, you are working, you're now doing offense, na instead na palabas yung pera sa'yo, you're actually putting money in. So I was focused on that. I tried to remove every temptation for me to actually spend money. So application for you guys, every time that you have idle time, instead na natatempt kayo mag-add to cart, use that time wisely and be more productive about it. A lot of the things that I realized also came about sa transportation in terms of my expenses, and though there were some workarounds that I was able to do in order for me to be able to save off transportation. Number 2 tip is nakikicarpool ako at that particular time. We had a neighbor, shout out to Ito Norman Kahupong, na kung saan ako sumasabay as much as I can, also going to the office. And my office at that time was around the Pioneer, Mandaluyong area, and then his office was somewhere around Siom, I think, for that particular time. So as in literal na dadaan siya sa office ko at bumababa na lang ako. So the adjustment nga lang for me was, anong oras siya aalis, dapat yun din ako aalis. Kung anong oras siya aalis, dapat yun din ako naka-ready. So he normally would leave earlier. So that means that I would wake up very, very early and I would be at the office at around 7:30. But that's okay. So if I remember it properly, yung legit na commute going to where I wanted to go was I needed to take a tricycle, I needed to take a jeepney ride, I needed to take a bus. So you add that times 20 plus, times 6 months, times 1 year, malaking savings na rin nun. That's an amount of money that I could have used for certain things. Madami dati sa Alabang area na libre yung parking. meron din paid parking, especially sa town center. Sa Alabang Town Center, meron libreng parking dati sa McDonald's, meron din libreng parking sa labas. Dati sa Outback yun, wala na yung area na yun. And then near the church area, Catholic church area in Alabang Town Center, libre din yung parking doon. I would literally park in those areas kahit mas malayo siya, kahit umuulan. Pag puno doon, maghihintay talaga ako na may lalabas doon para hindi ako magbayad ng parking. And dati yung parking sa Alabang Town Center, I think it was 25 pesos. Pero it was an expense na feeling ko I could have avoided, na kung magiging resourceful lang ako, kung magiging matyaga lang ako, na kung hindi naman talaga ako nagmamadali, why would I have to actually pay for it? Then number 4, connected pa rin sa parking. Alam niyo naman to there are some parking lots na merong grace period, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So yung style ko was, I would try to park and get everything done within that 15-minute or 30-minute period. Kung hindi natapos yun, pasok ako sa kotse, lalabas ako ulit, then babalik ako. And looking at it from hindsight, sayang sa oras. I'm a big advocate of prioritizing time over whatever amount of money you can save. However, at that time, it made sense to me. Sabi ko, ba't ako magbabayad ng extra 40 pesos, 50 pesos kung 40 minutes lang ako, 35 minutes lang ako doon. So, yun ginagawa ko. I would try to get everything done within the 30-minute time frame. Then get out. Yung hindi natapos, literal na lalabas talaga ako ulit. Tapos babalik ako sa parking para makasave ako ng 50 pesos. So, I don't know if it makes sense to you. I don't know kung natatawa kayo na kinikwento ko to, but there will be seasons and times in your life that you would also have to save it. And we all will go through that. And things like that make you more resourceful. Things like that make you better as an individual. Things like that make you better as an entrepreneur as well. So, prior to me getting married, staying in the Taguig area now, we were in the South. Sa mga hindi taga Metro Manila, when we refer to the South, it's anything south of Makati, I guess, anything close to the Muntinlupa, Las Piñas, Parañaque area, people would refer to that as the South. For those sa taga Quezon City, they would always refer to that particular area as the South. Meaning also, if we would go to work or we would have meetings, in the Makati area, in the BGC area, we would have to pay toll fees, we would have to pay skyway fees. And one of my hacks also before was, dadaan ako service road. As in, if hindi naman super traffic, if hindi naman malaki yung difference ng travel time also at that particular time, and then kung yung oras mo naman, madaling araw or maaga or tanghali or 2 p.m. or whatever, and then you think it won't really affect yung time mo sa pag-travel, or at that particular point in time naman, hindi naman ako nagmamadali. Kung uuwi ka na lang, wala ka naman deadline na kailangan yung pag-uwi mo. I was more liberal with that. Comment below kung lahat ng sinasabi ko na pagdaanan nyo or ginawa nyo na or ginagawa nyo pa rin. So, the next portion of what I wanted to share, some tipid tips were portions of paano ako nakakatipid sa pagkain ko. And for those who don't know me, a couple of years ago, I was overweight. I was 160 plus pounds, I think. And part of that also was, malakas ako mag-sweets and malakas ako uminom ng Coke. Literal, I would drink Coke lunch and I would drink Coke dinner. But when I was starting out, one of the ways for me to be able to save money, kinumpit ko na It's still prevalent naman now 1.5 liters of Coke is massively cheaper versus buying Coke in can or buying that 500 pep bottle. So yung ginagawa ko was, I would buy a 1.5 liter Coke, at sa mga office mates ako na nanonood nitong yun, alam nila to, I would buy 1.5 liters. I would stash it in my bin. And then every day, inumin ko yun for the next 3 or 4 days during lunchtime. Of course, nung third and fourth day, hindi na masarap yung Coke. Pero okay lang I was thinking na nakakatipid ako ng madaming pera. Hindi na siya ganun kasarap, pero it was still Coke. And then I got to save a lot of money. So I can't remember how much it was. I think it was 45-50 pesos yung 1.5 liter of Coke at that time. And then yung in can, if I would buy it sa 7-Eleven or I would buy it sa convenience stores or dun sa, there was I think a food court below our building. It would be around 25 pesos, 20 pesos. Another one was I would try to drink yung mga pineapple juices. And para makatipid ako, this is what I would do. Nasasara naman siya. So, I would get water from the pantry, which is free. And then, hahaluan ko siya ng pineapple. So, yung isang pep bottle na gano'n, minsan umaabot ng 2-3 inuman sa akin so that I get to stretch it and how I get to save. I get the flavor still. And it's not, I think one of the reasons why I did that also was medyo matapang siya. So, or medyo matamis siya. So, I tried to dilute it as well. And in a way, I thought I was winning kasi nakakatipid ako na stretch ko siya lalo. So, instead of drinking it just for one drink, naging 3 na. Pero there was a time sobrang kinuripot ko, parang lasa na ng tubig. Anyways, during lunchtime, there were lots of times na nasa start ako, I would bring my baon, but there were times na hindi ako nakakapagdala ng baon or nag-extend ako na I would go up until dinner. Kasama yung mga sa office, na mag-work ako sa office. So yung technique ko dati, I would get yung cheapest, yung mga Max Saver Value Meal or yung sa Jollibee na burger steak or yung sa KFC na chicken. Pero lahat yun walang drink. And I carried that also over, hindi lang during work. Pero even after work, pag lumalabas ako kasama mga kaibigan ko na hindi na from work, I would always buy something na walang drink. Minsan pa nga yung 2-piece burger steak, I would 1-piece burger steak lang ako. And dati hindi ako nagto 2-piece chicken, 1-piece chicken lang. And then most of the time walang drink at Max Saver Value Meal. Minsan, yung Max Saver Value Meal na yun, at that time it was 50 pesos, 1 piece na crispy chicken fillet with rice. I would order 2 and then busog na ako doon and then without drink. At nagkaroon sila ng price increase na halos pareho na yung price kung walang drink tsaka may drink. So wala akong choice. I was drinking 2 Diet Cokes at that particular time. Mas napapagastos ako sa kain when dahil sa wife ko, when we started going out more. So dun yung mga resto. But before, especially when I was starting out, kung kakain ako sa labas, fast food, KFC, McDonald's, Jollibee, crispy chicken fillet, 1-piece chicken, 1-piece burger steak, no drink. At tapos kukuha na ako tubig, tapos libre pa yung tubig. Tapos if you take note of it, kung uminom ka ng tubig, healthy pa, di ba? I don't know if this is boring you, but this is just me sharing bits and pieces also of my life, and I hope that this is something that is encouraging you, inspiring you also, that sometimes it's not just also about how much you make, it's not just about how much you invest, it's not just about building multiple streams of income, it's also about being faithful and being resourceful with what you have. Aside from that, I would have a lot of office mates during merienda time, lalabas yan, magsa-Starbucks sila, or they would go out and eat, which is not bad naman. But for me, I really wanted to save so para hindi ako ma-tempt or para hindi naman ako magutom, please remember this. Lahat ng sinasabi ko sa inyo, never naman ako nalipasan ng gutom dahil nagtitipid ako. I would always still make sure na busog pa rin naman ako. I would have pancit canton in my bin, and for those who watched my other videos, I shared that already na nagpapansit canton ako dati, and then mura siya, tipid lalagyan mo ng tubig, tapos meron pa yung mga instant yung mga yakisoba. So kung kakain lang din naman ako na hindi healthy sa labas, di kakain lang din ako na hindi healthy na nasa bin ko na mura ako. So I had that stash, and I think there were some other knickknacks also in my bin that pag nakaka-tempt gumastos, meron ka naman pagkain doon, kakain lang din ako. So mention na Starbucks, so that's how interesting Starbucks is as a stock. Instead of me mentioning coffee shop, I would say Starbucks, and that's how amazing the brand is. And it just reminded me that you can actually invest in Starbucks stock for $1 only, and you get to participate in the largest exchanges in the world. So if you want to invest in Starbucks, check out GoTrade, $1 only. You can invest in Starbucks for $1. Check it out below. The links are in the description. When my friends were going to Starbucks, I would just drink sa Nescafe, pantry. Libre lang. So meron pang mocha yun, meron latte. So I had different flavors. Of course, iba lasa pa rin ng powdered, no? And if you would say that, hindi comparable yun sa espresso-based drink versus powder. Totoo naman. Pero at that time, okay lang sa akin Na-realize ko lang, pag nasanay ka na sa espresso, sanay ka sa masarap, mahirap din also bumalik. It's easier kung comment below if naranasan nyo to, na dati, masaya na kayo sa ito kinakain nyo, ito yung iniinom nyo ng coffee, ito yung restaurant na pinupuntahan nyo, ito yung fast food na tinatry nyo, tapos nakatihim kayo na mas masarap. Ang hirap bumalik Pero at that time, I was okay with it Sarap na ako dun sa mocha na Nescafe vending machine na nasa pantry na libre. I considered Starbucks, I considered coffee shops as a treat for me before. I think yun yung nagbago sa pananaw ko over the past few years na parang if I wanted to reward myself, okay, Starbucks tayo, gano'n. It wasn't a daily thing. It allowed me to save a lot of money. Think about it. Drink coffee sa coffee shop, 150, 160, 170 pesos. If you do it twice a day, multiply that for 7 days, it's a large amount of money. And at that season of my life, I wanted to use my money more to be able to save and invest it. And I'll probably end it with this video. And if you want more of this, let me know, comment. I want more. I just hope it benefits you all. You learn a lot from this. But when I would buy something, I would really canvas. So normally people would canvas pag bibili sila ng gadget, bibili sila ng damit, bibili sila ng sapatos, something na medyo mahal. Pero ako literal, lahat kinakanvas ko, kahit dilata, kahit Coke. As in, I would canvas, saan mas mura makakabili ng Coke, saan mas mura makakabili ng canned goods, saan mas mura makakabili ng ganitong item na to. I would canvas everything. And yun din yung sinasabi ko sa mga videos that if you don't have capital yet, you have time and you have effort. I was also exercising time and effort in order for me to become more efficient also on my spending. So I guess that's a learning thing also for everyone, that you don't always have to buy the first thing that gets offered to you. You can always compare which is the price point that fits you. And totoo naman, you don't have to canvas all the time, but if you're at a point in your life that you still need to save money, then you do it. I hope that this was helpful for all of you, because if I would look back also in time and you would ask me if I would do the things that I did before, I think okay lang naman, kasi you have to remember that it's always seasons, that there will be seasons in your life. Seasons where you are in maximum full throttle earning. There's a season in your life where you are planting. There's a season in your life also that you are building a base. There's a season in your life where you are paying off your debt. But at that point, that was a season in my life to be kuripot. That was a season in my life to be resourceful based on what I had as well. So there, if you want more videos like this also, I had some also over the past year. So check it out in the link below. If you want to trade cryptocurrencies, it only takes $10 to be able to buy. Check it out, Binance. If you want to trade the Forex markets, look at XM. What's interesting about XM is they give you $30 extra as a start when you sign up with them. And as what I've mentioned, go trade $1, you get to trade the US markets at a very, very low price. And this Saturday already, we have a stock market seminar, technical analysis. If you want to learn more how you can trade the markets with confidence, check it out. It's this weekend. But if you can't attend that and want to read, check out my books. They're available in both Shopee and Lazada. There, I hope that this is something that helped you. I hope that this is something that encouraged you also to continually not just reach for your dreams, not just invest, not just work hard, but also save and be creative with what you have. So this is Marvin Kermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.